Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Bushman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode of the Weekly Compass, we're going to take a look at the energies for the last full week of February, the 22nd through the 28th. So before I get into the reading, I just want to mention that this is, of course, a general reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. So first we're going to take a look at the numerology for the beginning of the week and the end of the week, and then we'll get into the overall energies. So we start this week with 22-4 energy. So that is master level energy. This is going to be a time that will require a tremendous amount of work, persistence, and dedication, but the rewards of all of that are worth it. So at this time, the more original that you can be, the greater opportunity you will be able to create practical solutions to problems that others may consider unsolvable. So this can be a really monumental time. This is going to be an opportunity where your greatest dreams can come true through effort invested by you. So this can also be a time for allowing yourself the space to dream big and set those lofty goals. Under this energy, anything is possible if you're willing to show up and put forth the effort. That's going to be the key. Then as we move towards the end of the week, this is an interesting energy. This is a 28-1 energy. So this can be a time for contradictions, competition, surprises to show up out of the blue, and sort of unusual events, just again, sort of taking you by surprise. So what's interesting is this energy really kind of influences like the material world. So like property dealings, maybe business dealings, that sort of thing. So thinking about that, any of those like property or business dealings can bring unexpectedly good profits or surprising losses. So what's interesting is what will determine this a lot of the times depends on your original motives and your ethics behind the proceedings. So it's like if you're doing whatever this is to simply get ahead, to step on everybody in front of you to get there, to sort of blur the lines so that you can, let's say, not be completely honest about maybe the business or whatever it is that you're trying to sell or the property, and you're withholding information, so you're not really being ethically sound. That kind of energy, when you show up in that way, can have sort of a boomerang effect where it doesn't turn out the way that you expected. But if your intentions are good and you are, showing up in honesty and integrity, then the results will often reflect that during this energy. So this is ultimately going to be a time where your own good judgment is essential. Events may surface now that will test your ability to judge fairly and without falling into extremes or bias. So decision making can feel difficult right now during this 28-1 energy. So if you can kind of wait a few days before making any kind of big life decisions, that would be best. If you absolutely have to make a decision at this time, then just make sure that you're in your integrity, that you're showing up in honesty and in good ethics, and more than likely it will all turn out just fine. Okay, so you play a big role in this energy. Let's put it that way. And your intentions play a big role in how this energy will turn out, or how the circumstances will turn out. So just make sure that, you got yourself in check and that you're showing up in your highest expression or as close to that as possible, and all should be well. So as I look at the overall energy for this week, it's actually really positive, beautiful, supportive energy. I love the energy for this week. Again, a lot of it's going to be what you choose to do with it and how we choose to move through it. But the universe is very supportive this week. Let's put it that way. So the beginning of the week, we have this opportunity to have some kind of elevated influence over a situation through using our own wisdom and our resourcefulness. So again, that kind of comes back to that 22-4 master energy and really taking control of that. So you might have an opportunity at this time to be the teacher or a leader, or share your expertise in some way. And you may have, again, the power to influence a situation. So make sure that you're using that influence wisely and with good intentions. I really do feel like that's going to be so important always, but especially with the energies sort of circulating this week. So really powerful time at the beginning of the week, again, to think big, to dream big, to set those lofty goals. You can always make adjustments as you move forward, but this is going to be a time where the energy is, the environment is fertile to really plant those big seeds of intention, okay? As we move into the middle of the week, this is so loving and supportive energy. I just love it. You really have an opportunity for renewed optimism at this time. So just really beautiful. If there's something that you've been working towards and maybe you were really optimistic at first and then you kind of were hitting some hurdles and you were starting to feel a little defeated. Again, if it's something that's really in line with what your soul's purpose, what you want to be doing, then this is going to be an opportunity for that renewed optimism. And it's okay to trust that. So if that comes in for you, then use it to put the wind back in your sails, use it to push you forward, because this is going to be really satisfying energy, really joyful, really finding your contentment at this time and finding that peace and harmony. And again, that renewed optimism. I think that's the best way to put it. Then we move into the end of the week. And I'm pretty sure at the end of the week, I think it's Friday or Saturday, we have that full moon in Virgo, which is really that beautiful earth energy, really grounding energy. And so that really does actually support the numerology this week, as well as the energy I'm seeing this week. And I'll do a video for the full moon in Virgo as well. But just know that that's coming this week and that's really supporting this energy. Anyway, so we move into the end of the week. And it's almost like you find through that renewed optimism that comes in midweek, as we move into the end of the week, you find harmony in your current direction. So it's almost like you can see, again, the light at the end of the tunnel or the light in your current space. I like that better because it's not like you're in the dark anymore. There's light surrounding you. You can see, you feel really good about where you're at, or at least where you're headed. This path that you're on currently feels good. It's like where you feel good and you find your joy and peace in the moment of where you're, the work that you've put in and where you find yourself in the moment. You can find the beauty and the grace in the moment. And again, you feel that renewed optimism for the direction that you're on. The energy around this is or the message behind this is really stay true to yourself, and there will be a reason to celebrate. Okay, that's going to be really key because again, if we're constantly showing up in the energy for like seeking validation or seeking to please another or seeking to, fulfill somebody else's dreams or anything along those lines, then we can really burn out from that energy. We can really lose steam. But I feel like during this week, and especially at the end of the week, if your intentions are set, if your goals are set, and they're ones that are staying true to you, to yourself and your soul's calling and your mission, then you are going to feel a lot of harmony in your path, in your direction, where you're headed, the decisions that you make. Now, again, I would say that going back to the numerology, because this can be a time for surprises, but this can be a time for good surprises too. It doesn't have to always be like, catastrophic or bad surprises or surprises that trip you up. It can be surprises that, you feel really joyful about and that open up a new door that leads you in a new direction that you're really excited about and grateful for. But again, with this 28-1 energy, it's really important that you make sure that your motives, your ethics, your integrity are all in place. okay, are at your highest expression, because that's going to be what leads you into that harmony of your direction, of where you're headed, and staying true to yourself. So check your motives, check your reasoning behind whatever decision it is that you're trying to make, and move from that space. I would also, though, say, just because of that numerology behind the around, again, Friday, Saturday, being 28-1, it's kind of like, again, if you can hold off on making a final decision at this time, I would probably say do that. Just wait a couple of days. Let things kind of show you what, let the energy show you what's coming up, what's potentially to come in the next few days, and hold off on making any big major life decisions at this time. Just give it a few days if you can. If you have to do it, then like I said, go for it, but just make sure that your intentions are good. All right. Beautiful week ahead of us. I'm really excited for this. I'm actually really excited for this Virgo full moon as well. So yeah, I think that we've got an opportunity here to make big strides and to move forward in a really big way that we feel good about, and I like that. So I hope it is a beautiful week for you all. Just to mention that the March forecasts for each life path number are now up on my YouTube and my podcast. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and do it. Great month ahead of us as well. So looking forward to it. Enjoy this last week of February. I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye for now.